Yes, good morning to all of you. Today I'm going to
Good
discuss
morning, sir.
today I'm going to discuss a chapter that is getting to know plants. Do you know what is plant? Plant is an autotrophs that synthesize their food by process of photosynthesis. So what are different part of the plant? You already know the root, that is the lowermost part. Then you will get the stem, that is the upper part above the ground. Then you will find the leaf, that is the greenish portion of the plant that do the process of photosynthesis. Then flower, that is the reproductive part and most attractive part of the plants. And you will find the result of pollination and fertilization, that is the seed and fruit. So you will find the fruit on the plants, that is the result of pollination and fertilization. Yes. So these are the different part of the plants, that is the root, the stem, leaves and flower, and lastly the fruits. So you all of you know the root. What is the function of the root? It will absorb the water and minerals through root hairs. So you will find the root hair on the surface of primary root, secondary root, tertiary root, through which plant is able to absorb nutrient and water from the soil, and it will anchor, support and fix the plant at one place. You also know the different function of the root, the storage of food. You know the carrot, radish, then sweet potatoes. These are the storage route where they storing of food materials by the plants, and we are eating that carrot, radish, saljam, then sugar beet. It is also a root, and sweet potato. So these are the different source of minerals, carbohydrates, and other nutrients. And you will find the root that will supply the water and minerals through xylem, just like artery and vein of your body. In the plant also there is a xylem, 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 that supply the water and mineral from root to leaf via a stem. So that is present at the center of the root or a stem. So this is a net like a structure, just like a pipe through which water and minerals supply from soil through a stem up to leaf. So you know the other tube like a structure that is going to circulate whole plant body, that is phloem, through which plant distribute the food, whatever the food synthesized by plant on the leaf surface in presence of chlorophyll, water, sunlight and carbon dioxide. So you will find a very small pore like a structure on the leaf surface through which exchange of gas occurs, that is known as stomata. You cannot observe this thing through open eye. So you can observe through microscope. So the stem that will keep the plant in a standing position and support the all the body part of the plants, like leaf, like flower, like fruit. So these are the main uh, part of the plants. Keep the plant in the erect, that is the standing position, and it will help the plants to prevent the plant from different adverse situation, like high speed wind, like a storm, then soil erosion. So these stem and root have play a vital role for keeping the plant, protecting the plant. So these are the responsible for, mainly stem is responsible for both is supply of water and minerals up to leaf, and then distribution of food from leaf to all part of the body of the plants, like flower, like root. So outer covering of the stem, there is a phloem through which food is going to distribute, and plant take the food through the phloem. So these are the main function of the stem. I will also again discuss the main function of the stem, main function of the root. Again come to leaf. You know leaf, they are one of the most vital organ of the plant that do the process of photosynthesis. We can say leaf is a kitchen of the plant, where there is a process of photosynthesis, that is making of food in presence of carbon dioxide, water, minerals, and sunlight. So sunlight provides the energy. In that condition, plant can do the process of photosynthesis. So leaf, it is going to do the
Sir,
process of,
screen is not visible.
yes, I'm just trying. So just go through the function of the
Yes,
leaf. Yes. Are you observing the screen? Are you observing the screen?
yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
try
Yes,
to know
sir.
try to know the function of the leaf. First function is process of photosynthesis, making of food, also known as kitchen of the plant, also known as kitchen house of the plant. Leaf is kitchen house of the plant. Second function is transpiration. So what is transpiration? Loss of water in the form of water vapor. In the form of water vapor from the leaf surface, that is known as transpiration. So whatever the water, excess water present in the plants, that is going to evaporate in the form of water vapor. That process is known as transpiration. That transpiration process occur on the leaf surface, and also respiration also occur. Exchange of gas, carbon dioxide enter inside the leaf through stomata, and oxygen is going to release out from the leaf only, and purify the environments. So these are the main function of the leaf. It also maintain the temperature of the plant inside the plant. So what are the function of the leaf? First is photosynthesis, that is preparation of the food, that is also known as kitchen of the plant. Second is transpiration, that loss of water, excess water in the form of water vapor from the leaf surface, just to maintain the temperature of the plants. So these are the main function of the leaf. So you will find then it also prevent the wilting, means murjhana. Wilting means wilting, wilting. That is, if there is a scorchy sunlight of the sun heat. So due to transpiration on the surface of leaf, plant is going to survive even at high temperature. So these are the different function of the leaf, and you will find the leaf surface area, lamina, and you will find the vein, that is the reticulate venation, and parallel venation. So these are the different structure of the leaf, you will find in details in this chapter. Okay. So next part of the plant that is known as flower. You know, flower, that is the most attractive part and the reproductive part of the flower. This is most, what happens? The flower is the most attractive part, and just silent the mic. Yes.
की आवाज नहीं आ रही.
Okay. So just please silent your mic. So flower is the most.
सर आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही.
Are you not listening my sound? Yes. Yes.
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही. सर आप बहुत साली कर रहे हैं आज.
अब आ रही है? अब आ रही है बेटा?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes sir.
आ रही है आवाज.
Yes. Try to know what is the flower. Flower is the most attractive part of the plant and the reproductive part of the plants. You can say flower is responsible for making seed, making fruit through process of pollination and through process of fertilization. So all of you must uh, explain the plant part through taking one plant that contain the all part of the plants and make a small video. Okay, so this is your project. You can explain the different part of the plants and try to explain the function of different part of the plants. Okay, so these are the this flower contain the mainly four part. One is sepal and one is petal, that is the accessory part, that is the accessory part, and the essential part, that is the pistil present at the center of the flower, and stamen, that is present around the pistil. So the pistil is the female reproductive part. Pistil is female reproductive part and stamen is the male reproductive part. So I will discuss in detail the different part of the flower, what is the function of the different part of the flower. So this is one of the important part of flower. So try to know what is a plant. Plant is an autotroph that do the process of photosynthesis by leaf in presence of chlorophyll, carbon dioxide and water. That is also known as producer because it is going to synthesize the food. And directly or indirectly most of the living organism on the earth depend upon plants. So there are classification of the plant. First is herbs, second is shrubs, and third is tree. I have already discussed the herbs, that is much smaller than you, that is much smaller than you, with green and tender stem and may not have many branches. Generally, they know lot of branches occur and they know wood in the stem region of the herbs. So what are the example of herbs? Grass, mint, wheat. So these are the example of herbs. Rice is also an example of herbs. Next, you will find the other example, that is shrubs, that are about your size, sometimes little bit smaller than your size, and a stem branching out near the base. You will find, and you will find the stem is somewhat hard, and you will find some amount of wood is present also, and not too much thick. That is known as shrubs. So generally, in case of shrubs, the height of that shrubs is little bit smaller than you and about your size also. A stem branching occur near the base. At the base region, you will find the branching, and the stem is little bit hardy due to presence of wood. So these are the rose plants you will find on the base. It is very hard. And in case of tulsi also, in case of china rose, bigger plant of china rose, also woody stem is there.
बहुत
So these
अच्छा
are the
कर रहे
examples
हो।
of shrubs. Next is tree.
जो तुझे मैंने बाहरों
Are
तो
you
बदलना
listening my
चाहिए।
sound? Are you listening my sound?
मम्मी
Yes.
मैंने सारा सारा
Yes.
तोड़ दिया। यस सर।
What is tree? Plant
यस
which are
सर।
much taller than you.
यस सर।
Plant which are much
यप।
taller than you. They are very hard and thick brown stem. Why it is brown stem? You will find a bark covering.
यस
So that is known as phloem. And through which there is a supply of food to all the part of the plants. So that is phloem. So phloem is outer surface of the stem region. So that will supply the food to all the plant part from the leaf. These stem have branches in upper part. You will find these are the branches on the upper part. So much above the ground and taller than you. So you will find a hard woody timber present in the trunk region. Trunk is also a thick stem, and that is used for making different type of furniture after are cutting the tree. So these are much taller than you. So these example of these stem are mango tree, banyan tree, then coconut tree, then people tree. So you will find lot of tree in your surroundings and try to identify the different type of trees. I have already discussed the different part of the plants. Yes. Now come to the stem. What is the function of a stem? Conduct water and minerals. From where? From root through narrow tube. What is the narrow tube? That is xylem. Xylem, xylem. That is the tube-like structure that is going to distribute to all the part of the plants. And just like artery and vein present in your body, artery is just like xylem, and vein is just like phloem. Okay, so just it is similar to artery and vein, and it is going to distribute the water from soil to leaf. And the phloem, it is also a other type of tube, is going to distribute the food from leaf to all the part of the plant. What are the other part of the plant? The plant other part of the plant is root, then leaf, sorry, then flower, so then fruit. So at the growing stage it is going to distribute the food, so that there is a formation of seed, there is a formation of food occurs, fruit occurs. So you will find that conduct water and minerals, as well as also distribute food that is going to synthesize by leaf. And you always remember, how can you identify the stem? If you visit in the garden, in the Chandigarh, in the Boali, you will find a bamboo tree. So this is node, circular ring like structure, that is known as node. You will find that is node. So this is the characteristic feature of the stem. If there is no node, it is not a stem. So if you have given a sample, unknown sample, how can you identify? Due to presence of node and internode. So length between two node, so circular ring like structure, that is known as internode. So on the basis of the internode and node, you can identify this is a stem, otherwise it is not a stem. Okay, so circular ring like a structure where there is a active cell that is responsible for increasing the height of the plants or tree or herbs or shrubs. So this is the main characteristic feature of the stem, and this is clearly identified. That is the this is the node, this is the node, and the length between these two, that is known as internode. And you will find the leaf is attached at the node and axillary bud. and sometimes fruit is also attached at the nodes. So try to remember the example of stem. Potato is also a stem. Ginger, it is also a stem. Then haldi, it is also a stem.
Not
Sugarcane,
clear.
sugarcane structure is similar to bamboo structure. It's just like bamboo structure. You will find the node and internode, node and internode. Then cactus, you will not find leaf in case of cactus. You will not find in case of cactus whole plant stem is greenish in color. So there is leaf is modified into a spine, that is kata. Okay, so this is the function of a stem. Next, you will find the plant system, the type of stem, that is woody stem, that is the herbaceous stem, then weak stem like creepers and climber. Woody stem means the wood is present generally in case of shrubs, roofs, and in case of tree. You will find a wood. That wood is made up of xylem and phloem. Next is herbaceous stem, very soft, tender, generally found in case of herbs. So these are the different category of stem, and you will find also weak stem. It is not able to erect in coming to a standing position. Generally, it will creep on the surface of ground or climb with the help of some stick, some rod-like structure. So these are the weak stem. So these just see that is the herbaceous stem. You will find in case of grasses and annual crops like wheat, rice, jowar, bajra. Then woody stem, you will find the tree, the mango tree, banyan tree, or any other tree, bigger tree that contain the wood. Salt tree, sagwan tree, you will find the woody stem. Next, you will find a creepers, the plant with weak stem that cannot stand upright. Upright means a standing position, and spread on the ground are called creepers. Generally, when you were in the child stage or 1 year or 2 years, generally you were also just like creeper. Okay, so you were running with the help of your hands and legs on the surface. So this just like the you when you were at the age of 1 year, 2 year, it is just like that the creeper that is running on the surface of ground because it cannot stand erect upright. So example is pumpkin, watermelon, then patal, parval. So these are the example of creepers. Then climbers. So perambulator, that is the support. So just like perambulator, the support or a stick that is required for growing in upward direction. So just like plant takes support on neighboring structure and climb up on the that structure, that is known as climber, climb in upward direction toward the sky, that is grapevine, then pea, then money plants. These are the example of climbers. So all of you must remember the example of climbers. Next, modified state, auxiliary bird, that is also known as thorn. You will find this type of stem in case of bougainvillea, a flowering plant. You will find this type of structure. This is also a stem modification. Then you will find potato is also a stem. You will find a scar of a stem. Then a scar of leaf, germinating eye bud. These are the examples. So you always remember potato. It is not a root. It is a stem. But sweet potato, it is root. Next, you will find the auxiliary bud as a tendrils. You find tendrils just to grip on the supporting materials. So
Sweet potato is a root.
yes, so these are help for climbing in upward direction and give supports. Next is the whole stem is greenish color. There is no leaf, so the whole stem is going to do the process of photosynthesis in case of Opuntia. cactus. So these are the different modification of the stem, because generally stem is not going to synthesize the food. So this is the exception, that stem is going to do the process of photosynthesis. Here, this potato, generally in the mind, it is a root, but it is not a root. It is a stem. Why? Because you will find eye bud. Okay, and germinating eye bud, just from where new plant is going to develop. Then you will find in bougainvillea plant also the thorn-like structure. So that is also a modification of a stem. Then just see the ring. That is the structure, ring-like structure. You will find that is example of modified stem, that is tendril. So try to remember, you know already the leaf structure and leaf venation, whole surface area of the leaf. Okay, so that is the petiole, that is the blade. Okay, so you will find the midrib at the center, and you will find the petiole, the stalk, and the blade, that is the area of that leaf you will find. Then vein, the arrangement of vein, just like net like a structure. So that arrangement is known as reticulate venation, and you will find arrangement of vein in the leaf is known as leaf venation. So there are mainly two type of venation. One is reticulate venation, one is parallel venation. Generally reticulate venation occur in case of dicot. How can you identify dicot? If you take the seed and you open the seed, covering of the seed, you will have two parts. Then it is dicot. If it is only one part, then it is monocots. So generally, in case of dicot plant, you will find the reticulate venation, that is net-like structure of vein arrangement. Then you will find the parallel, all the vein are in parallel fashion from starting into last end. So that is parallel venation. So this is arrangement of vein. So I have already discussed this thing, the what is the function of the leaf. So in one case, that process that is known as transpiration. How it is occurs? Through a small pore-like structure on the leaf surface. You cannot observe with your naked eye. What is this? It is a stomata. It is a stomata. So generally a stomata is made up of guard cell, and through which there is exchange of gas occur. What type of exchange? Carbon dioxide will enter inside from the environment, and oxygen will exit. So that process will continue during the process of photosynthesis. So generally also there is a transpiration occur in the form of water vapor from the leaf surface, that is known as transpiration. So what, there are different function of leaf. First is photosynthesis, second is transpiration, third is respiration. So these are the process that is generally occur in case of leaf. Means leaf have diverse function. So leaf do the process of photosynthesis and make the food for plants. In presence of sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water, from where water will plant will get? From the soil, through leaf, through the stem, up to leaf. And chlorophyll also present in the leaf. That's why plant leaf is generally greenish in color, due to presence of green pigment that is present in the chlorophyll. Due to heat, plant is leaf is appear as greenish color, and you cannot observe the stomata through your naked eye. You can make a slide and you can observe the stomata. So there are a lot of application or function of the plants. Next, uh, if there is no leaf, we cannot get the food from the plant. So just try to know what are the different modified form of leaf. In cactus, this is spine, that is going to modify, that is modified form of leaf. The tendril structure, it is also modification of the leaf. Then the insectivorous plant, that is you will find the feature like a structure, that is also modification of the leaf. This is lid and this is the feature like घड़ा. घड़ा होता है ना मिट्टी का घड़ा, just like that. So if any insect will enter, there is so many fine hair is there, and that fine hair will trap the insect. What is the purpose of this feature? It will digest the insect. First kill the insect and digest the insect with the help of enzyme and absorb the nitrogen. Whatever the nitrogen present in the insect, it will absorb by this feature. So it is also known as insectivorous plant. Generally, in case of insectivorous plant, nitrogen deficiency is there. That's why a feature like structure is developed, and it is lid and it is feature. When the insect will enter, it will close. And what happens? It will,
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, modified leaves matlab?
Modify means generally it is not appear like leaf. It is generally not appear like leaf. If I am telling that this is leaf, are you agree? You are not agree. But it is the modification of the leaf. Okay. So this structure, it is also a changes form of leaf. If I will say it
Okay,
is
sir.
leaf, it is not a leaf, but it is modification of the leaf. You will find it is a stem, but it is leaf. Okay. It is if I will say it is leaf, are you agree? You will not agree. So it is also modification of the leaf, just to just to have different function. What is the function of that? Why it is going to modify into leaf? To prevent the loss of water through transpiration. Where it is occur? Where the cactus is occur? Generally cactus is occur in the area where there is a no rainfall. So just for survival of plants, they are converting the leaf into a spine, so that there is no loss of water in the form of water vapor. If there is a leaf occur in the area where there is a cactus and there is no rainfall, what happens? It will die. But plant have developed such a structure from the leaf that there is no loss of water. So that's why this is the advantage. Next, why it is going to make such type of a structure? Because insect will trap by this feature. This structure is known as feature, and if insect will enter in that, here like a structure is there inside the feature, and it will trap. It will trap the insect and digest the insect after killing the insect with the help of enzyme. So this is the special structure. And then you will find the tendril structure just to grip the plants, just to help the plant, just to get the support of the plant. That is known as tendril structure, just like in case of stem. Next, you have seen the multiplication of plant through the leaf. Have you seen any plant? Have you seen any plant? There is a multiplication of plant with the leaf. There is a bryophyllum. The bryophyllum is a special type of plant. When the leaf is going to touch on the ground, so from the when it is going to touch, from each part is going to convert into one separate plant. So this is the bryophyllum, a special process in which there is a multiplication of plant through leaf only. Okay, so there is no need of pollination, no need of fertilization. With the help of leaf we can multiply the plant. When it will touch the ground, from the one leaf you can get 1000 plant or 100 plant or 50 plant or 500 plant, like that. So these are the modification of the leaf, that the different function of the leaf, just to prevent the water loss through transpiration, just to kill the insect and absorb the nitrogen content of the insect, and to take the nitrogen as a nutrient, and just to support the plant, and then just to multiply the plant. Rapid multiplication of plant occur in case of bryophyllum through leaf only. So how can you do the process of transpiration? Take a You can do that by activity. To take a plastic bag.
Sir, take a polythene.
Yes, you can take a plastic bag and take a potted plant and cover that. When you cover in the evening with the help of plastic bag, you will find in the morning there is a water droplet on the inner wall of the plastic bag. It shows there is a transpiration process is going on in the day only. So you up to 10 a.m. or 12 a.m. you will find a lot of water droplet is there. So that process transpiration occur in presence of sunlight, and you can do that, observe that water droplet on the inner wall of the bag. So in the morning if you cover, in the nearby 5 p.m. 5 a.m. Then up to 11 a.m. or 12 a.m. you will find a water droplet is there. From where water droplet come? From the leaf surface. How? Through process of transpiration. So this is the experiment you can perform and do that experiment, that activity. First you explain the all part of the plants and make a small video clip, and then do the process of transpiration experiment with the help of one pot and one plastic bag. Okay, just to explain the process of transpiration and make a small video clip. That is the activity, science activity of this chapter. All of you must do that activity. Okay, so these are the different experiment. Now come to root. I have already discussed the what is the function of the root. There are mainly two type of root. One is tap root, one is fibrous root. So generally tap root generally present in case of dicot plant, just like venation, reticulate venation. Tap root is also present in dicot plant only, and fibrous root is present in monocot plant only. What is the difference? You will find a single main primary root, and then secondary root, and then tertiary root, and then root here in case of taproot system. But you will not find main primary root, secondary root, tertiary root. All root is coming from a single point in case of fibrous root. So generally wheat, rice, these are the example where you will find the fibrous root, and you will find the tap root in case of dicot plant. You can see any plant which is dicot, that is just like gram, pulse. All the pulses are dicots. Okay, so generally pulse like lentil, gram, arhar, mung. Then all of you have done the process of sprouting and germination, and you have observed these things in that project. Okay, so this there is a primary root, then secondary root, then tertiary root you will find in case of tap root, but there is no main root in case of fibrous root. So these are the main function of the root: storage of food material, then support and keep the plant in erect position. Anchor means support. Anchor means support the plant in the soil. Okay, so it prevent, it check the, protect the plant at the time of soil erosion, and absorb the water and minerals from the soil. So these are the different function of the plants. So it will support the plants and always it will give the protecting, uh, it will protect the plants at the time of soil erosions. Okay, and keep the plant at a standing position when there is a adverse situation of natural calamities are occurs. Then protect the plants. So these are the diverse function of the roots. Then reproductive, most reproductive part structure of the plant is flower. You know, flower, that is the most attractive part, that is the petal, and you will find a greenish color. You will find a greenish color, that is the sepal, and this one is petal. So sepal protect the plants, and protect the flower, sorry, plant protect the flower, and give the base for the flower at the time of pollination and fertilization. And then the next part, that is petal, that is the most attractive part. It will attract the insect for pollination, for sucking the nectar present in that flower, and then help the pollination process. There are so many agents that is going to transfer the pollen grain from stamen, from the anther to a stigma. Where is a stigma? You know, this is a stigma. So when the insect like honeybee is coming and sitting first on the anther, and then again sit on the stigma, then pollen grain will going to transfer from anther to a stigma. That process is known as pollination. So generally honeybee, wind, water, that is act as pollinating agent. You can also collect the pollen grain on the paper and put that pollen grain on the stigma. for the process of pollination and fertilization. So these are the main part of the flower. You know, petal, I have already discussed, it is the attractive part to attract the insect for the process, for proceeding the process of pollination. Next, male reproductive part, that is anther, and the anther contain the pollen grain. So there is a process of spermatogenesis through which there is a pollen formation occur, and then the pollen is carried from anther to a stigma. So that is pollination. So you will find the anther. This is anther, and anther and filament constitute together make a stamen. So all of you must draw this diagram of anther, filament, stamen, whole structure of the male part, reproductive part, and whole structure of female reproductive part. So after pollination, you will find what are different part of the female part, that is the stigma, style, and ovary. So after pollination, there is a pollen germination, okay, and then there is a fertilization occur, and then there is a seed formation occur inside the ovary. So these are the part responsible for making the seed and fruit formation. So all of you, you know, these are the main main essential part of the plant, that is the stamen, and that is the pistil. So pistil is the female reproductive part, and stamen is the male reproductive part. All of you must draw the diagram of all the part of flower, and you explain the function of all the part of flower. So just go for uh, making the project for transpiration and explaining the different part of plant with the help of one potted plant, with the help of one plastic materials, and cover in the morning, and try to observe in the day condition, and try to explain what process is going on. So all of you must go and do that project activity. Okay, thank you.